Hello, how is everyone doing? My name is Otto and welcome to the channel. Today, I have something interesting to talk about. It is a question that many of you keep asking me. Should you buy the DJI OM4 or the Hohem iSteady X? Which one is better? Which one is worth your money? Let's see. If you're new to smartphone gimbals, you need to know that this is a mechanical device that is not difficult to use. They are not very expensive, and it will help your videos look way better by taking away unwanted movements or shakiness and giving you a smoother and more cinematic video clips. The first thing that sets them apart is the price. $149 for the DJI OM4 versus $69 for the Hohem iSteady X. And they both come with a tripod, a pouch, a grip strap, and a USB-C charging cable. DJI only sells one version of the gimbal, while Hohem sells the basic version, and now they recently released a vlogging kit, which comes with a wireless microphone that also works as a remote control. The iSteady is super lightweight at only 259 grams without the small tripod. It is 290 with the tripod, while the OM4 weighs around 420 grams without the tripod and almost 500 with the tripod. Both gimbals can support pretty heavy phones, the iSteady up to 280 grams and the OM4 up to 290 grams. The OM4 has a big 2450 mAh battery with 15 hours of operation, while the iSteady X has a 2000 mAh battery and around 8 hours of operation. The OM4 has this nice feature. It can be used as a power bank to charge your smartphone with a simple USB cable. Setting up and balancing these two gimbals is quite easy, but the OM4 has this magnetic clamp that you place on your phone. It can stay on your phone just like so, and when you need to use the gimbal, all you have to do is this. When you're done using the gimbal, or if you need to use your phone, you just need to set this on standby mode or turn it off, and then all you have to do is remove the phone like this. This has to be one of their major selling points because setting it up is very easy and balancing is almost non-existing. Both gimbals have 3 axes, which have a huge advantage over 2-axis gimbals. But if we take a closer look, the design of the iSteady has a short tilt arm compared to the longer arm of the OM4s. And this makes the maximum tilting angle more limited on the iSteady X. In my experience using the iSteady, this wasn't a bad thing, just sometimes it limited some of my movements. But I do believe that this also helps in keeping the gimbal light and smaller, and at the same time it reduces the cost. I'm not going to lie, I had to get used to it because in the beginning I was expecting this to tilt more with some specific kind of shots. The buttons and the joystick feel really good on both gimbals. You can start or stop recording a video, recenter the gimbal, switch to horizontal or vertical mode by just using the buttons. Build quality is also good on the iSteady and on the OM4, but I do prefer the ergonomic grip on the OM4. It fits really good on my hand. This part on the back is made with soft rubber, and when I hold it, I can see and access all the buttons with my fingers without any issues. With the iSteady, this is how it looks when I grab it, so I kinda need to rely on the small tripod to have a better grip and to access the controls. Both gimbals offer 4 modes. Number 1 is pan and tilt, where the roll is going to be locked. Number 2, we have pan follow, where the roll and the tilt are going to be locked. Number 3 is gonna be all lock, which locks every axis. And POV or FPV, which is the opposite of the all lock, and all axes are actually unlocked. You can set the gimbal mode on the menus on both gimbals, but the iSteady has one big advantage over the OM4. I can switch the gimbal mode without entering the menus. You press and hold the left button, and then you press once, twice, 3 times, or 4 times the right button depending on which mode you want. I can change those modes on the fly, and it also works even if I'm using the native camera app. On the OM4, you can set the M button to quickly access the menu and change the gimbal modes by using the joystick. but this is only available when using the Mimo app and not when you're using the native camera app. The only mode that you can use without going into the menus is the all log mode by pressing the trigger over here. Easy to use and to remember, but you actually need to press and hold the trigger for the all log to be active. If you let go of the trigger, it is going to go back to whatever mode you had before. On the iSteady, if you select to log all axis, everything is gonna stay just like that. If you need to do intense movements, the OM4 does have a sport mode that you can turn on inside the menu or can be quickly accessed with the trigger. The iSteady doesn't offer a sport mode, but on the menus, I can select the gimbal's follow speed. And for many cases, being able to customize that follow speed is something that I do appreciate a lot. There are 4 speeds: general, slow, medium, and fast. Not really sure where general stands for, as I felt that it was kind of like a medium speed. And fast is quite fast, but not as responsive as the OM4's sport mode. Underslung mode works on both gimbals without issues. All you need to do is flip the gimbal upside down and the camera will automatically get on the right position. When someone buys a gimbal, they usually want to use the app that comes with it. But just so you know, when using either gimbal, you can use the native camera app that comes with your smartphone. The Mimo app and the Hohem Pro come loaded with nice features and lots of customizations. And I'm going to tell you the good and the bad. On the iSteady X, the basic features are slow motion, time-lapse, photo mode, video mode, and special modes that they call moment. Inside this mode, there are a few templates to choose from, and here you're going to find dolly zoom, video panorama, and the inception mode. And all these modes are going to work regardless if you have an iPhone or an Android. On the OM4, you also get slow motion, time-lapse, video mode, photo mode, and dynamic zoom, which is the same as the dolly zoom, and in my opinion, the OM4's version is easier to use than the iSteady's one. You also get a bunch of templates to make quick videos inside of what they call the story mode. There is also an inception mode, but this is called the spin shot on the OM4, and you select this inside the menus. So all of those features are the same on both gimbals, but the OM4 also offers hyperlapse, 3x3 and 240 degrees panorama pictures, and something called Clone Me panorama shots, which is kind of fun to use. Both devices offer face and object tracking. I like that the iSteady's face tracking is fully automatic. If you step out of the frame and then come back again, the tracking is going to keep going. If the OM4 doesn't see you anymore, it will just lose you completely even if you come back to the frame. On the OM4, if you're using Android, dynamic zoom doesn't work very well. And if you're using Android, you can use slow motion within the Mimo app. Android users are also going to be disappointed that both devices can only shoot at 30 frames per second inside their apps. If you want to shoot 24, 25 or 60 frames per second, you need to use the native camera app that comes with your smartphone. With all this information, which one do I think that you should buy? Honestly, both gimbals are pretty good and I have been using them for the channel and for my personal videos. And I feel that it comes down to what features are you willing to give up by getting one or the other. If you get the iSteady, you're going to be saving some money and you're getting a good gimbal with maybe less features than the OM4, but maybe you don't even care about them. And if you get the OM4, you're also getting a good gimbal. It's not perfect, but some features are very good to be ignored. I hope that you found value on this video, and if you have any questions, just ask in the comments down below. Don't forget to rate this video, and I'll see you in the next one.